Hey, Jim. No, I tried a little test. You remember when I got booted before? I was talking to my computer guy. I got to update some drives on this computer. It's a brand new computer, but some of the drives need to be updated. How you doing with the triplet roll? I don't know, Jim. And you know what? At this point, with today, the way things were going with me, I really don't, whoever comes, comes. It's every week a different schedule. I don't know. I got your email. That was a good thought. My challenge to the web. The stick control book challenge. I don't know what I should challenge anybody with. Let me loosen up a little bit. You want to see how I loosen up sometimes? Let me turn this on. Hold on. What is this going on? I mean, YouTube's got all kinds of shit going on. That's ridiculous. I froze, I guess. YouTube has changed something. I don't know what the hell it did. All right. Just a little loosening up. I mean, my left hand is so weak. My hands are so down. It's ridiculous. On the pad? I guess. I have to come up with something. Anyway, you understand the triplet roll? Yeah, I know it has to be a tough challenge. Do singles for 10 minutes at 280. or the table of time. I don't know. Let me come up with something. Yeah, well, it's a good marketing thing, Jim. That's absolutely correct. But let's talk about that later. It's you and I now, and whoever comes in, they should be getting notifications. So I told them tonight at 7:30, that's when I'll be doing the lesson on YouTube. So I was a little early, just hanging out. So, are there any questions you have, Jim? Anything you want to go over in particular? I am working on the drum pad. I have to loosen up my hands. They're really hurting, man. My left hand, I don't know. And if by chance we get booted again, I'll be right back on in about 5 minutes after I get booted. And I have to find out what drivers need to be updated. Okay? Yeah, this is kind of fun. You have any questions on anything? The triplet roll? You understand the PDFs I sent? Let me slow it down a little bit. Hey, hold on. All right. Hold on. Got to loosen up a little bit. Let me bring that back down. This is at 100. All right, so we're going to do one measure eighth note triplets, one measure eighth note the triplet roll. You follow what I'm doing there, Jim? $160. My left hand is not, it's weak right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it that's at 100, all right? I'm going to vamp for 1 minute. I'm going to vamp on the drum pad, 4 measures, triplets with the right, 4 measures, triplets with the left. I was on 180, 208. I'll get back to it. Here's the trick. I'm gonna vamp for 3 minutes for a minute. Loosen up my hands. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. Left hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Right hand. 2, 3, 4, left, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, pop, 2, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm going to take that same thing. My left hand is, that's my issue that I'm working on right now, my left hand. I've gone to a couple specialists. We had some radiation. I had an MRI. electric shocks, whatever you want to call that shit. There is no carpal tunnel syndrome. There is no, whatever they call it, tendonitis. It's just old age, man, I guess. I'm going back on the drum set, Jim. I'm going to take 100 again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play triplets with my left hand, and my bass drum 1, 2, 3, 4, my hi-hat 2 and 4, and I'm going to run the stick control book down or the syncopation book on the floor tom-tom. All rights. 1. Who else? Just you, Jim, huh? All right. I did tell everybody 7:30 YouTube, if you remember, yes? It's now 25 minutes to 8. We'll wait a little longer. Just fool around a little bit. You're ready for what? Meds and therapy. 2 blondes and a 6-pack of Heineken and some Sambuca. Then I'm ready. My wife is shooting me, but that's all right. I'm going to up the tempo a little bit. I'm going to put the tempos, let's say 120. So I'm going to hang out with some dynamics. I'm going to take the snare off. This is linear time. That's weak. 16th notes. Right on it with the metronome. Where's here? Hoist, how you doing? Dennis. All right, anyway. I thank everybody for making it 7:30 tonight. And I need to say this, that you guys are here now. We had a little issue, and I think it's YouTube. It's not my computer, because I've been having some issues, period, with YouTube. If I get booted, come back in 5 minutes, I'll be back on. All right? It's either YouTube is screwy or my drives need to be updated. Now, Jim, you said you just bought a new computer. Does your screen appear blue and it says there's been an internal error and you are restarting the computer? Does it say that? And guys, I was just having a little fun with Jimmy. So, Hoist, Dennis, any questions on last night's lesson? All right, let's wing it tonight, okay? We all have the stick control book formula. You have the PDFs, Hoist. Jimmy, you have the book. We're fine, right? That doesn't happen. What happens to your computer? You got to get rebooted. This is a 12-core computer that we're streaming from. I'm looking on my laptop at the lesson, but the computer is streaming from, the stream is on another computer streaming. All right, I called the guy. He's told me what the problem may be. I don't want to take this computer to a guy and he'll charge me $9,000 and then just update something. So I have to find out what it is. And I don't want it to happen next Sunday. Linear. Let's take a figure and make a different formula. Okay? Let's think 16ths, 1E and 2E and we're going to make 1E, that's the right. Left is going to be 2. We're going to use double on the bass drum. All right. Want to establish that one, guys? Okay, let's take the simple pattern. We're going to use 4 drums, the bass drum. The R is going to be floor tom-tom, snare drum, kick, kick. 1E and that's an R. Now a left is going to equal 2E and or let's make it a, no, let's do it a little different. Right, left, left. You following that? I want to work on a linear concept. I was introducing the 32nd note roll in comparison to the triplet roll this afternoon. Did you understand that, Hoist? Dennis? Did you get the PDFs, Dennis? Get in the chat there, guys. Let's go back to the lesson. I don't want to wing it. The hell with it. Okay. We talked about the triplet roll. All right, a triplet roll is just triplets, 2 and 3 and 4, and every count is going to be doubled. 1 and 2 and 3. So I have 1 measure of eighth note triplets, then a roll. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Let's hit the metronome with that. That's 120. 3, 4. Come on, left hand, don't fail me now. Do we all see what we're doing there? Hoist, Dennis, Jim? Well, I'm not working on a PDF. I'm showing you what the triplet roll is. Let me take it off of snare. Oh, yeah, boonga. I went to sleep. What did it do now? Oh, there you go. We're not going 1 through 12 right now. I'm just showing you where I left off this afternoon. The eighth note triplet, 1 and 2 and 3 and phonetic roll. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the triplet. 2 and 3 and 4 and do we understand that? Hoist? Dennis? Do you understand that? The triplet roll, and I wanted to get into the 32nd note roll, and I wanted to do a few exercises from stick control. We'll get to the linear concept again. Relax. I'm going backwards. I want to stay on the triplet roll. We'll have a little fun after the lesson. We'll do some linear concepts. Okay? So you understand the triplet roll. Now let's go to the... Dennis, do you understand that? Hoist, you understand, and Dennis, you understand. Okay. Now, that's the triplet roll. And I wrote out 1 through, I believe, 12 or 24, the PDFs. I'm not sure. We're going to put the PDFs aside for a second. And I just explained the eighth note triplet and the triplet roll. The next roll you're going to come to is you're going to play 16th notes and 32nd note roll. So if I'm playing 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and I just played one measure of a grouping of 4 to the downbeat, 16th notes. Now I want to play 32nd note roll. So if I'm going to play a 32nd note roll, that's what you can call it. It's just a roll. You're rolling over to 2, to 3, to 4, and back to 1. For every count, you're going to double the stroke. And I'm going to do it slow. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the roll now. And the 1 E and the 2 E, the 3 E and the 4 E and back. 1 E and a 2 E and simple. 3 E and the 4 roll. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 roll. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. Now, it's important that you know the difference between the triplet roll and the 32nd note roll. Do we have any questions on that? Do you understand it, gentlemen? I see Hoist and Jim and Dennis say yes. How about you, Jim? The 32nd notes. I'm doing doubles, not singles now. Then get the stick control book and let's go to page 8. And what we're going to do is we're going to play what's there, but we're going to add. The triplet is going to become a triplet roll as opposed to just straight triplets. If I did line 1, it'd be 1 and 2 and 3 like that feel. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it, cut time. Remember we did the little variation on cut time? Remember the notes, eighth notes become sixteenths? So instead of 1 and 2 and, you're going to have 1 E and So you got, now I better not do it that fast either. Let's do this. 1 and 2 and. That's pretty poor. I'm trying to give you a good example. All right, 1 and 2 and. That's even worse. We're going to use a triplet roll. We're going to do actually one measure of eighth notes, then triplets, then the roll. Back, roll, so we could just keep, it's just, I wanted to do those exercises, but it's too soon to do them. I apologize. So we understand the difference between the triplet roll and the 32nd note roll. 32nd note roll, 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. Is that clear? Then I have a whole series of different things on the drum pad come Monday, 1 o'clock. Let's do this. Let's make up a linear concept and expand on it. All right, let's make R. All right, this is a simple one. Let's make the first R, if in stick control book, 1 E and When you see an L, it's going to be 1 E and So if I did line 1, it would be right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. We go to line 3. Line 3, you have 2 rights, 2 lefts. Now we made the right equal this. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Line 5, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Do we understand where I'm getting that from, guys? Now let's find a time on that. Let's do it slow and build. And I'll show you how this comes, it becomes born. Now that's 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So let's hang out with that. Is that a good tempo for you guys? Is that all right? Too slow? Is that tempo okay? You want it faster? You can control it for a minute, 2 minutes. The stick control book challenge. What a joke. But it's called networking. All right, let's up the tempo. One E and 2, 3, 4. It gets a little boring, but you want to say, if you could hit it at 70 like that, that's a 72 rather, or 4 rather. If you could do that for a minute, let's do that for a minute. I am going to play it for a minute. And we're going to go to up the increments. 1 E and 2, 3, zap. Okay, that was for a minute. Now, that's how you want to practice it. Now, let's up the increment. Is it 74? Let's go to 84 or 85. Now, you should be loose. And that metronome's a guess. No, you hide the tick. 1 to the end of 2, 3, 4. Here we go. We're going to do it for a minute. And that was for a half a minute. I don't want to bore you guys. But you see what I'm doing? Yeah, a little faster is okay, but it's slower. What happens is, you know, I'm not trying to the thing is, the slower you play it, you really got to grab hold of that time. And that gives you time to adjust the voices and the feel. Now, whether you do it at 60 for a minute, 2 minutes, or you do it at 85 for 2 minutes, now you're moving, you're exercising. It's like you're loosening up for your mixed martial arts class. You know, you're doing sit-ups, push-ups, stretches, and all that stuff. And this is not applied to any musical. It's just giving you an idea of what linear is and possibilities. Now, I'm just restricting the floor tom-tom, the bass drum, the snare drum, and the bass drum. Floor tom-tom, bass drum. And if you want to organize it, you can create a formula. Okay? Now this is one of thousands of different kind of linear exercises. Now that was at 85. You want me to go faster on that? I'm getting old, so, you know, the senior citizens have to relax here a little bit. All right, let's up it a little bit. Let's go, I don't know if I'm loose enough to do it. Let's go to 120. That's moving. Try that for a minute. But see, don't stop till I get to 152. Let me get the phone. I got to dial 911. By the time I get to 152, the ambulance will be here. No, I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. You know, you want to slowly develop that. You see how I took the increments to 62, I think, or 60, up to 80 to 85. Now it's on 120. But, you know, you want to slow it down and do it for increments of 1 minute, 2 minutes. You know, that's a lot of physical work there. And before you know it, you could start at 152. Now it starts to come into view as, hey, man, that's cool. That's what they call that. And it's boring, but it's a feel. It's not a muscle memory. That was the triplet. I mean, I come up with thousands of different formulas, but just something off the cuff tonight. The triplet roll, the 32nd note roll, the things we've done this week. And tonight is the last lesson for the week. So is there anything that you want me to review for you guys? Do you understand this, Dennis? Is it helping you? Hoist, is it helping you? Yes, no? I mean, I don't want to get into using the hi-hat. That's another kind of concept. Is there anything else you'd like me to go over tonight before Monday? Any questions? Yes, no, hello. All right, well, it's just not an idea. You're exercising. You don't want to put the metronome on 200 or 150. You know, you want to loosen up. You don't want to go killing yourself. You want to feel it. You want to control that bass drum. If you notice, I use some dynamics there, playing the bass drum loud and soft, and have fun with it. I got a lot of work ahead of me here. I'm going to try to get hold of the sheet music on Satin Doll and write it out in a triplet roll formation. So you can understand, instead of counting 1 and 2 and I stop on the da, stop on the 1 da. I'm trying to do the preliminary for you, and then we'll take it into a melodic structure. It's a simple tune. Ba-ba-doo, ba-ba, ba-boo, ba. And we're going to do that with a triplet roll. You want me to work on the triplet roll a little bit more? Okay, hold on. What would you like me to work on? The triplet roll is simple. The interpretation from the PDF. Because I do have, I think, the syncopation book here. Would you like me to do that? All right, let's try that. What I did is I took the first page, lesson 1, page 4 in the syncopation book. Now, if you see the first line of the PDF, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But you just see you see the accents, a single note. Okay, you see a single note. So if you just play the accents, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? That's what's written in the syncopation book. Now, all I'm doing is taking what's written in the syncopation book and rolling over to 2, but in the triplet formation. 1 and 2 and 3, 4 and 1. Now that's the simple one. You understand that? And yes, it does come out to a 5-stroke roll. Unless I made it 30 seconds, it would come out to a 7. But I don't want to get into 7-stroke rolls, 9-stroke rolls, 11-stroke rolls, 13. That's field drumming language. This is, I'm rolling over to 2, to 3, to the quarter note. I'm rolling over to the accent. 1 and 2. Simple. Now we go over to number 2 on the PDF. You have a quarter note rest if you look at the page. But if you're looking at the PDF, you have a triplet roll. Okay, so we're going to count the triplet. 1 and 2, and I'm just going to play the accents. 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Is that clear? Well, I'm not going to write in the counts, man. That's it's one end. It's the count throughout that PD or the PDFs is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So there's really nothing to write out. Just that you need to be aware and condition yourself to get in position with the accents, the levels, to nail the accent. Line 2, I have a quarter note quarter note rest. So I'm going to roll 1 and now I'm going to hit 2, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Do you understand that, guys? There's no need to write the count out. It's just 1 and 2 and 3, 4. All right, let me do line 2 again. Quarter note rest, that means I'm going 1 and now I come on to 2, it's an accent. 2. Now I'm going to roll over to 3 and 3 and 4. And I'm going to roll now all the way over to 2. 4 and 1 and 2. Guys, help me out in the chat. Do you understand it? Dennis understands. All right, Dennis, you get the magic trick. Listen, when we go to the broadcast Sunday, there's going to be giveaways. And, you guys already have either the workbook or the PDFs. But there's going to be, you want to stand and hoist, all right. Who's this? Dennis, stand and hoist, understand it. And Jimmy's watching something else on the computer. That's okay. You're going to get a pass to Hudson Music. That's part of the gifts or the giveaways. I'm not sure what code he's going to give me for what books. But I know more than likely the Morello books. So what happens with that is, let's say, Dennis, you win. All right, so you go to Hudson Music, you put in the code, and bingo, you get the book in a PDF formation. Now, there's going to be a couple books from Jeffrey Johnson. That's the level system. I'm going to be giving them away. And then Steve Forrester's books, we're going to give a couple of them away. And Alan Herman's CD out of the box, I'm going to give a few of them away. I have, I'm going to give away I'm going to give a book away, the Stick Control Formulas, both in hardcover if you live in the U.S. and PDFs if you live outside the U.S. or even if you live in the U.S. Then we have a couple pair of drumsticks from Vic Firth and Innovative Percussion. We have Peisty. I don't know what they're going to send me. I wish it's a symbol. I won't even mention it. I keep it. No. If they send a symbol, that would be great. If they don't, whatever they send is nice. We have some T-shirts from Talk Radio. He's broadcasting every Sunday night. He interviews like David Garibaldi, Mike Clark, Steve Smith, Dave Weckl, all those guys. And you could hear his interview live. Sometimes I co-host, sometimes I'm on, and he has some T-shirts he's going to be giving away. I believe there's 4 T-shirts there. Okay, and in addition to that, I have my reading text in 4/4, reading text in 6/8, which I will be giving 2 copies of the 4/4, 2 copies of the 6/8. So I want that computer to be working, man, and I've been advertising the hell out of it. So, and then I get Marcio from I don't know what country, Brazil or whatever. Who's Joe Morello? Ay, kabunga. I mean, that floored me, man. Nobody's ever asked me that. Hey, this shit. Oh. Don't you laugh, Jimmy. Hey, I gotta organize this shit. Hey, Ed, how you doing? You have the workbook, Dennis, don't you? I sent you the workbook. Now, when you come into the chat, I'm going to give you a number. Now, don't say anything. I don't want to be partial, but I mean, I know, how to do that. But anyway, oh, Lord. We had a little issue today there, Ed, with this computer shit. It's not my computer, it's YouTube. They're having some issues. Every time I go on YouTube, check even my video manager, something's new. So these guys, they're computer programmers who do this, and they're doing it, they change something, they forgot to change something else, and it screws everything else up until I get a ton of complaints. So I'm doing the best I can, like I said, in the course of the lessons, whether it's on YouTube or my site. My site, there's no problem, okay, with the connection. If I should get booted, come back in 5 minutes. I'll be back on, okay? You understand, gentlemen? Now, tonight we just had a little fun there, Ed. Now, we did the triplet rolls. I did a couple exercises in the stick control book, and I made the comparison between triplet rolls and 30-second note rolls. I am trying to put together the sheet music someplace. I got it someplace. I'm going to say Satin Doll. And what I'm going to do with Satin Doll, I mean, it's old time tune. It's, we're not into jazz fusion funk kind of thing. We will be, but I'm taking the steps to bring you there and understand what these exercises, how you can apply them musically. Okay? So I'm going to write out, if I find it, I'm going to write both ways. Well, it sucks if I write it in 30-second notes. In triplet roll, the Satin Doll, or maybe the atrium, whichever one I could find, or something, some sort of 12-bar blues. And what's going to happen if you go over it and over it, over it, and over it, and you up now, instead of counting, you hum it, and you'll hear it. How's that sound, gentlemen? Now, there's no lesson until Monday, okay? And get the workbook, guys, who don't have it. All right. I am going to sign off, unless, is there something in particular you would like me to go over? Or you want me to review? Or you want to revisit? Tell me now before I sign out. All right, Satin Doll, it's an old time tune, But it's simple. It's the beginning of a concept. I'll try to get it together. I did not, Jim. All right, that means you have to send me money. I'm only kidding, Jimmy. You guys are pieces of work. All right, anyway, is there any questions that you want me, anything you want to revisit before I close up? Give me some requests on my email. Tell me you want to work on this or you want to work on that. You want to work on formula number 45 or 46, or 45 or 18 or 3 or whatever, and we'll deal with it. I do want to take the lessons to another level. And we don't have Joe in here tonight. I mean, I like Joe, but it's not that he's disruptive. It's just that the questions and the fooling around takes everybody away from the lesson. So I'm not going to have that anymore. Okay, no questions. Remember, any suggestions, please email me, and we'll work on it. Okay, gentlemen? I am going to sign off tonight. Everybody have a nice couple days off. Practice, though. 3-4 hours a day. Hey, Ed, are you on Facebook? Hey, Jimmy, did I put you in the Art of Drumming groups? There's almost 100,000 members in there. You'd love it in there. All right, no questions. Everybody have a good weekend. I'm going to sign off. Good night.